on BBC Radio Wales. After the Jubilee weekend, it feels fitting to have a queen on the show. And Jinkx Monsoon is currently competing for the title of Queen of All Queens in RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars, All Winners. They're already a Drag Race legend, and this Friday, Jinkx will be heading to the Sherman Theatre in Cardiff with a musical called Together Again. Jinkx has also brought musical genius Major to the show. Welcome both. How are you doing?
We're wonderful. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on the show. So, Major Scales, how's the tour going?
This has been a great tour. We're on our final leg of it. These last week of shows, it's going to be our big bang. So we're excited to be in and really end with a big bang.
Yes.
That's all I can say. I say big bang.
Big bang, Big Ben. Everything's big and wonderful about it. That's the thing. Like, I sometimes do late night television. When I go home at like 11 o'clock, I can't sleep at that point. I need something to like unwind me a little bit. Some people go and have a glass of wine. I normally have a little shower and, have a little bit of a book to myself. How do you guys unwind when you get home?
Well, with our late theater schedules, we kind of just do everything that someone with a 9-to-5 job would do, but starting 5-6 hours later. So I think our nights just end up being pretty late, but we don't have to get up early, so it kind of works out.
Yeah, for when we're living together on the road, I think our MO for our London shows was we would do our shows, get some food, and then go home and watch a horror movie and then go to bed.
So this show is part of the lineup for Wales's first ever LGBTQ plus Fringe Festival. That must be such an incredibly proud moment for you both.
It's so exciting that we get to be part of that, and a little nerve-wracking, but I think we're so happy with how this show what the show has become. We're going to be in with just this really honed little piece of material.
Yeah, and pretty much every show we do is its own personal LGBTQ plus Fringe.
It's true. We're our own Fringe Festival.
We're walking, talking Fringe Festival.
I love it. If you're just tuning in, I'm Benaz, and I'm chatting to the queen that is Jinkx Monsoon and Major Scales. I've got to say, big, massive congratulations to you, Jinkx, because you are doing brilliantly on the current series of the Drag Race All Stars. I mean, what was it like going back on the show after winning almost 10 years ago?
It was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make, because I feel so blessed and so secure in my experience with Drag Race on season 5, that going back a decade later kind of felt like, shaking some dust and some rust off. And it was kind of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But then I also felt like I'd worked on myself so much as a drag entertainer, as an artist, as a human being. I have so much more I'd like to kind of showcase 10 years later that, let's take on the hardships and just show what I'm good at once more into the world,
You're all winners, so there's nothing to prove, but I would imagine that the competitive edge just kind of kicks in a little bit, doesn't it? Or were you just a bit more like, no, I've been there, done this, I've got nothing to prove?
I feel like we all went in, each of the winners on our season, we went in knowing that we didn't actually have anything to prove to the audience or to each other, but we all had our own things we wanted to prove to ourselves. We all had our own hurdles and obstacles the first time we did it, and wanted to show what we've learned from the experience, not only of competing on Drag Race at least once before, but also being professionals in the drag and entertainment world since then. So I say that we all had our own personal dragons to slay on this season. And that's one of the really joyous celebratory things about this All Stars, All Winners season, is that you get to watch each of us kind of conquer our demons while looking fabulous.
Oh, which is what we love about the show. Absolutely amazing.
So we've got our final leg here in the UK with this show. We've just released the first single from our next music project. It's a song called Know It All. There's a music video on my YouTube channel. That's the Jinkx Monsoon YouTube channel, and you can listen to it anywhere you listen to music. We have 2 more singles that will be coming out in the next few months, and then an EP that will be coming out this summer, all leading up to our 3rd feature album that will come out before the end of the year.
Thank you so much. I know how busy you are, but we are looking forward to having you here in Wales. Thank you so much for your time today, Jinkx Monsoon and Major Scales.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. And they'll be together again at the Sherman Theatre on the 10th of June.
One of the most successful and popular winners of all time from Drag Race. Did you ever imagine that you would have such longevity?
I had definitely always hoped, and I definitely worked very hard for the longevity. You know, I've been kind of a workaholic over the last 9 or 10 years. Yeah, I guess I count my blessings and I feel fortunate for it. But I'm just excited to get to keep working, because performing live on stage and creating the work that I've created, that's why I do drag and why I like being a performer. So the popularity or the attention is just kind of a byproduct of me getting to do what I love.
How long does it take to put a show together like this? Is it years in the making, or are you always constantly trying to come up with something fresh and new, and you ring each other and you go, do you know what, we've got to try this next? Are you permanently inspired by what you're seeing?
There is a lot of that where we just get an idea that pops into our head, and then we'll call each other, or what normally happens is while we're on tour with one show, that's when we're getting ideas for our next show. So usually it takes about a year for us to create a new show, because the creation process generally starts while we're touring whatever our last show was. And then we start looking ahead and thinking, what ideas might form our next show. And this Together Again is probably our most outlandish and weird and high concept show. The high concept weird show is kind of where we always live and operate.
When you're working as a double act like this, is there such a thing as, I can read your mind, I know what's going on? If things go slightly off script and not where you imagined, are you just that much in tune that you can fix that?
Yeah, we call it our performance telepathy. And it generally comes 3 shows in. I mean, we've worked together for so long that we get into it pretty quickly. Generally in rehearsals, we'll start picking up our telepathy. But there's times where, say we're on stage and like a glass of water fell over, and we might both look at it and then look at each other and then in unison make the same joke, completely ad-libbed, completely impromptu, but we make the exact same joke at the exact same time and tell it in the exact same way. And that's when we know our telepathy is in full swing.
And if I could just touch on as well, Jinkx, the narcolepsy, and that's something that we learnt when you were with us on Drag Race. How does that affect you on live performance? Does that always feel like an added element of extra pressure? How do you manage it?
It doesn't really. My symptoms subside. They're strongest during the day, and they subside when I'm on stage because I have so much adrenaline pumping. But generally, it's and I feel so at ease with performing. It's very, very stress induced. Having a career where I kind of get to make my schedule myself, I'm able to kind of like plan my day around my symptoms. And candidly, I was literally asleep seconds before we...
I just knocked on her door. Honey, showtime.
On a work day, I might like take multiple naps throughout the day. But, you know, it's all about like kind of identifying what your symptoms are and finding how to work them into your day. And taking as best care of yourself so that you're as well equipped as possible. You know, anyone with some kind of disorder or something that kind of impedes on their day, you can still do everything you want to do with your life. You just kind of schedule and factor it in a little bit.
I think that's what really resonates with people. It's just that real struggle of something that you go, do you know what? That's just not going to impact me. I'm going to do it anyway. And I think good on you for doing it. You're setting such a good role model for other people that are going through similar struggles. It's incredible. So what's next?
We're actually working on our third full feature album. We just released our first single for a song Major wrote for me called Know It All. And so it's our first of 3 singles we're releasing throughout the airing of All Star 7. And then this summer we'll be releasing an EP with about 5 tracks on it. And that's all just in preparation for releasing the full feature album by the end of the year.
And besides that, we also are working on our Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which we'll be doing for the first time this August. So we're excited to be bringing that back. It'll be a brand new show that we're putting together.
Yeah, it's called She Still Got It.
You'll have to watch this show to find out what she still has.
Never lost it, I would say. The Edinburgh Fringe is an incredible thing to be part of. Has that always been on your tick list of places you'd want to perform?
It's been on our list for a while, and we just have never managed to get around to it. We were first planned to do it in 2020, and of course, things fell through for that. But now we're committed to it, and we're excited to dip our toes in.
Yeah.
You'll have an amazing time. And good luck for Birmingham this week as well. Wednesday night at the Alexander. Have you been to Birmingham before?
Oh, yes. It's actually where my husband and I first became an official couple outside of the bar Glamorous, which I don't believe is there anymore.
But they've got a plaque out front.
Yeah. But so yeah, we have fond memories of Birmingham.
How you doing, my love?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you very much for asking. My God, you are so iconic in every single way. And that Snatch Game, I mean, Jesus, you really, really nailed it for me. Which one was like your favorite?
Thank you.
Which character was like your favorite to do?
Well, I think it's obvious that I was really having fun with Judy Garland, but I was very excited as well to do Natasha Lyonne because it's the first time I've ever impersonated someone who is living and could actually like respond to the impersonation. And Natasha's such a sweetheart, and she's been really kind and a great sport about the whole thing.
Yeah, it's for me, like, I mean, there were so many moments where I was literally like, my jaw was on the floor. I loved when you were singing and you were just pulling this like forever lead all over the place. That was brilliant. And my God, the singing on point. Absolutely stunning.
Well, thank you so much.
Are we gonna have like a Judy Garland special album or something?
I've had a few people approach me about a Judy Garland tour, possibly.
Oh my God.
So we'll see.
Okay, I'm gonna manifest this, Jinkx Monsoon. I'm putting it out there to the world, and hopefully we can get to see it live. I would love to. Happy Pride Month, by the way.
Thank you so much.
What are you doing for Pride?
Oh, just working. Pride, Halloween, the winter holiday season. These are drag queens' busy times of year. So Pride's just another work day for me. But Major Scales and I, who's with me here, after we finish out this UK tour, we will be doing some Pride events in San Francisco and whatever else comes up between now and then.
I'm just going to give you 3 impressions. You have to guess who I'm playing. So I'm trying to do a Snatch Game for you now. The first one then. Oh, Peter.
That's Lois Griffin, voiced by the very talented and funny Alex Borstein.
Amazing. Are you a big fan of Family Guy?
No, I am a big fan of American Dad, though.
Okay.
And I'm a big fan of Alex Borstein. So.
Oh, amazing.
So that
Well,
was very good.
you smashed that out of the park. Right, this one's going to be really hard for me. It's just going to be a noise. Oh.
That's pheromone.
Oh.
No, was that Cher? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
It needed the hair.
Little hair
It needed
flick,
the hair
yeah.
flip.
Just
Perfect.
a little bit more like this.
Well, I'll work on that for next time. And last but not least, very harsh.
One more time.
Oh, very, very harsh. I got an MBA. Very harsh. UK Queen.
I know. Who?
Where are my fags?
It all just becomes like a big bowl of mashed potatoes.
I mean, you're so close. You're so close. What can you make with potatoes? Very, very harsh. A snack. Come on, you got it. It's on the tip of your tongue. Very, very harsh. Yes, amazing.
I honestly couldn't think of it as Baga or the Vivian. 'Cause at times they kind of imitate each other. So I don't know. I feel like the Vivian was just doing that around me, and so even though it was her doing a Baga impression, my brain was like, "Oh, the Vivian does that," but it's her doing Baga. So
Right.
anyway.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much, Major Scales and Jinkx Monsoon. Really, really excited to hear from you. Yeah, enjoy Pride Month, enjoy working, enjoy the theatre, enjoy the UK while it's still somewhat, I don't know, the weather's a bit on and off at the moment. It's nice and hot one minute and then raining the next. But enjoy it nonetheless. So, yeah, have an amazing time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
You're very
Have a great
welcome.
day.
All right. Mwah.
You ain't even me.